Another thing that I think really helps with this is going back to the heart, is not cultivating that culture of fear, is as a leader of others, it's really important to show your heart to your team so that they can trust that, when you do have that edge or you have that commitment to, excellence that's really good, that they can trust what's behind it. Because they know that you feel real things, you genuinely care about them, and you want them to be as good as they can be, and that's why you're pressing in, right? And that'll go a long way. Now, that's got to be true, so that when you show your heart, you're actually showing that you really do care about them, and that really is the reason for your criticism. And that is why the first person we work on is ourselves, because it's very possible that I had stuff in my heart that wasn't right. During that that period of Reformation, there was specifically on this point, and I had to refine that out of me of like, oh man, I am prioritizing growth over people, right? So I had to get those priorities right and straight, because I was allowing my heart to want something more than was appropriate, and I had to get my desires in more alignment. So there was some training of my heart that had to happen there. But if you can get there, and that's where your heart's at, it's very important that you show your heart. And so many leaders get into this place where they're like, I need to appear strong and in control all the time, right? And the worst way to look strong and in control all the time is to show your heart and show how you're feeling. But I would argue that vulnerability can go a long way to, one, remind your team that you really do care and that they can trust what's behind those moments of criticism and moments of correction. But two, create the safe space for them to be human as well and have feelings themselves, which again comes back to creating that safety in the whole environment. And then finally, the thing I've had to learn is get good at offering that severe criticism. And I think criticism is great, right? I think I'm a critical person, and I think it's one of my strengths. But how do you offer severe criticism, or that standard of excellence that's so sharp, but you offer it in a way that can be received well? That's super important. And then finally, don't stop doing it. That's really important. A lot of people, I think, in fear of their own, they just stop offering that feedback, and that'll just mean that things go to the wayside. People need you. They need that voice of excellence on their team, and I know how much you can feel beat up by it. If you're an entrepreneur out there and that's listening, that's something that I think is worth saying, is it hurts, and it can feel like, everybody's against you, and you're like this person on an island. You're the only person on the island that understands, and you're all alone, and nobody gets you. And it's critical that you keep offering that criticism, that severity of excellence to the team, because they need it. And I stopped doing that at one point in time. I got so beat up and felt so bad. Why? Because I wasn't offering it well. But I got so beat up that I actually withdrew. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go create this other thing, and I'm going to do innovation over here. And you guys sound like you got this whole thing going like you want it to be, and you can just do this thing, right? That's really where I got. So I went over and did this thing, and it's just a bad idea. It did not work. Things were very ineffective. There needed to be the healthy, honoring, relational balance and merge, the healthy friction of those people that wanted things to just be good enough and operationally sound, and me who wanted to always stretch things, and I wanted them to be great, and how can we make this even better, and let's get all the details right. That's critically important to health in an organization. So stay engaged. It's critical that you don't stop doing it. Just get better at offering it well. That's the key.